Welcome back. Going to the second half here of Drop Frames. We'll continue with the PoE stuff real quick, then jump into Cd-rom with Zeke, do some Stardew talk, and talk a little bit more about Tarkov, because that's all I've played. Ko, you wanted to know about the drama of the PoE. Essentially, I think what happened after assessing why, I mean, patch notes come out and people are always upset. That's just kind of like Path of Exile in a nutshell. It's launch week in a nutshell. The actual, I think, issue where a lot of people had some reason to be upset is Chris in the Q&A on the announcement stream, which was on the 7th, I think, basically said that like a ton of skills were getting changes or updated. And essentially what happened is they nerfed everything. Like everything just got not a giant, but everything got some sort of nerf, kind of across the board. And so I think that statement, he said that a lot of things are getting buffs. He didn't say changes, but buffs was the key word.
Hold on. They're nerfing across the board and then having the players go up against up to 10 of the existing bosses.
Yeah. Some things are still not, like, remember that Cold Dot Vortex build he played? That's pretty much unchanged for the most part. That'll be probably like one of the meta builds. But yeah. They're not nerfing everything, and nerf is like a strong word, but there are some things that did get some stronger nerfs than others. Nerf is such a weird word.
40 skills got a bunch of buffs?
That's what they said. That's what Chris promised, is 40 impactful buffs to skills. And a lot of the buffs are like, they're not meaningless, but they're also not like significant buffs.
Interesting.
But yeah, a lot of people are not super happy with the changes, but like people are never happy with changes, right?
It also sounds like they've changed so much that like a lot of people are kind of confused. I'm seeing like lots of stuff in chat, people going back and forth. No, they said this, they said this, they said this. So it looks like it's just a huge balance patch.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like I think Chris Wilson, CEO of Grind, I'm not sure what his actual title is anymore.
Leader bro
of GGG. I feel like he's so far removed from like the balancing aspect of the game, and he's more focused on like the business side of the game these days, that the people that are actively making those changes and making those decisions should be out there maybe being the ones talking, but Chris is kind of like the figurehead and like the face of the game in a lot of ways, and so he's the one usually doing the talking, and so he can say things that may or may not actually be happening, and then you kind of get a situation like this. But I don't think it's anything. I don't think people are more upset this time around. I think it's just the normal being upset during patch week of PoE. Like people are still going to play on Friday. They're still going to forget that all of those patch things happened. Then they're going to start complaining about league mechanics being broken. I mean, it's just like the tweet. And then once that's like not that bad, people are going to say like, I think maps are dropping less. I'll probably say that. And then they won't be, and then you'll get to maps and be like, oh, this league's pretty good. And like, everything will be fine. And that'll be that. So,
okay.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm still very much excited for the league, and we'll probably be doing some sort of like, I think you maybe played a Toxic Rain starter once upon a time, or maybe something bow based a while back. I'll be probably trying that out, and we'll see where we go from there. The new the Hydrosphere thing looks cool, and the Trinity support thing might make Ellie hit really exciting. So we will see how that all goes on Friday when it launches, and probably report back next week. So that is that.
Is there a part of you that's kind of I don't know if schadenfreude is the right term to use, but like you look forward to, or do you look forward to like kind of bitching about stuff with other PoE people?
Part of the game.
Commiserating, Z.
Yeah, I mean,
there you go.
Yeah, like in a lot of ways, I feel like that's gaming today. Like, that's life today, right? Like it's so much easier in the wrong ways to like celebrate to shit on something than it is to like talk about how good something is, right? And I think that's true in any fandom, anything.
Yeah.
Anything that like, there's probably people that watch Drop Frames and be like, man, that was a real shitty episode. Yeah, I didn't like that shit at all. Like,
yeah.
And you're like, okay.
No, honestly, like that's that's been some of the starts to some of my greatest friendships. Like,
Yeah.
like I didn't even think about that. Like, a lot of the friends I've made over my lifetime, like a lot of them started by like, yeah, we hate the same thing. Okay, cool. Like way back, it's like New Kids on the Block. They suck. It's like I think they suck too. High five.
Yeah. I definitely think with bringing it back into the gaming conversation, I definitely think with like games as a service, that's like expected. Like people in a lot of ways are so outspoken about games as a service that they play Destiny, Path of Exile, anything along those lines, because they know that the developers will change things. It's not like a single player game that comes out, most single player games that come out. And it's just like, all right, this is set in stone. This is the way it is, right? Like they change so much on a fundamental basis for these games as a service that like, if you're not bitching in the community, then you're effectively saying everything's fine. And that's not usually the case, right? Like players.
Complicit is what it is.
You're complicit. Yeah. That's what most people would say. But it's why like right now in the Destiny community, a large portion of that community is shocker upset. They're upset with where the game's at right now. And that's just kind of like how those games work. They still fucking play it though, 12 hours a day, right? Like
But they aren't going to like it.
they're not going to like it, but they still play the shit out of it. I mean, I played that with Tarkov. There are things that I think are really fucking bad in Tarkov. But there's also those moments where it's like, yeah, that was really fucking sick. Like I really enjoyed that moment. And so you like strive to play those moments, but yeah, gaming's weird. I think life is weird. Yeah. You got to chase that dragon for sure. Zeke, how's CD-rom ram along the ding dong bomb. How's that going?
Ramacon.
CD Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. That's
Yes.
my name too. It's
Very
going well.
patriotic.
It's awesome, man. Like I love this shit. Like I love like nostalgia trips, and it seems like there's people, like tons of people in the chat who feel the same way. And tragedy plus time equals comedy. And
Sure.
the tragedy of back in 98, 99, even before that, like the tragedy of it was that computers were just figuring out like, how can we like they weren't streamlined yet. Like just take audio sources, for example, like audio, like the Sound Blaster.
Oh yeah.
Or
Love blasting sounds.
WinMix or like anything like that. Like anything that had like 12 choices of what you could use. The recommended specs in the instruction manual of these games is like, we recommend either a Pentium blah 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 blah, an Intel blah 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 blah, this that, like so many different like things that like you had to like come up with workarounds,
Right.
or figure out how to like make these programs talk to each other properly.
In a lot of ways, it's like you need to have this hardware, and it's not today where it's recommended to run well, it's to run.
Yes. Recommended run, period.
To start the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that is so much, it's a lot of fun. That's what makes like the troubleshooting streams, which I just experienced one. I played Icewind Dale. Let's start there. I played Icewind Dale.
Okay.
Which is it came between Baldur's Gate 1 and Baldur's Gate 2. It was released in 2000, and it's pretty great. It's pretty fantastic. What they did with what they had, like with the limitations of technology or whatever, like it's a really, really fun and good game. I enjoyed it. I had no idea. Like I spent the first 3 hours of the game. I didn't know you had to you could custom make 6 characters off the top, like right at the jump.
You start with
you
a party.
Start with 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can start with 6, which is exactly what I did. I did all 6 characters, and that took 3 hours.
Nice.
Like it took 3 hours to go through everything. And like I came up with short backgrounds for everybody. That was fun. Going through, they have, look at all like the voices, the voice lines they have. Like you can choose any voice you want for your character and stuff, and they'll say it periodically.
Yeah.
Like, I see you want to dance with death. And you hear that like every once in a while when you're fighting and you're battling or whatever. But man, it's a crazy amount of work that you can see they put into these games that makes me wonder sometimes why games like Cyberpunk 2077 character creation is just straight up doo-doo. It is doo-doo. Capital D.
Well, I mean,
I don't understand it.
It's the second best game of 2020. I mean, you would think that it would have a good one.
No, don't twist my word. It was my second favorite game that I played. I wouldn't say it's the second best.
Okay, all right, okay.
Because that was voted with my heart, not my brain.
Okay. It's the getting over it moment.
Other parts.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like just like PoE, man. Like you complain about PoE, but you fucking hundreds of thousands of hours. Like you'll still complain about it, even though you love it. Same kind of thing. Oh, this is me coming up with my character. I had no idea you could do this. I don't know what it doesn't do anything for you. Yeah, I think it's just a cool little fun thing that you can put with them.
It probably shows up in like their status or something, right? So if you need to, gut check yourself to see how a character would play out, you go to the status, see what you wrote, the character creation moment. Although I don't know what this one really means here. You're kind of going off
She worships the god, but mostly I call his name in bed. Yeah.
Defining biography.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The beard is a fake. And oh god. That's right. The beard is a fake, and no one knows why she wears the silly thing.
I feel like you're writing goals or something in an episode of Roll.
Well, it was just a fun thing to do with the audience. That's why it took 3 hours. Because one of them, I said, she has total amnesia. So what am I going to write here? I said, I guess I'll just write. So there's no background for her. I guess I'll just rap. And I just typed out in West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of it. Just cause.
Yeah.
It was fun. But anyways,
it's great.
To the game.
Yeah,
the game is fucking fun. The thing I really like about this and Arcanum, both of them, is you can make them as turn-based as you want. Arcanum, however, it's easier in Arcanum because you're only controlling one character for the most part.
Sure.
To start off with, for the first however many hours I played it. This one, it's 6. So people are like, that's D&D for it. I'm like, yeah, I know. But this is a video game. Like, give me a little bit more fluidity with a video game. Like, coming up with something in D&D, like taking your turn and watching other people, like humans controlling characters take their turn, is part of the fun of it. Doing a tabletop. Like, what do? Okay, he's going to do that. Okay, so if he does that, I'll do this. Like that. But when you're controlling 6 characters in a video game, it's like doing turn-based stops the action so much. And I was constantly going, if I were going to do this all over again, I would have like 3 paladins and like 2 clerics and maybe 1 thief just for opening locks.
That's what I was going to ask, if you made 5 clerics and 1 thief. Like, what was your party build?
No, exactly. No, but I made like, they're all diverse. Like I think I had all these selectable species represented. I say species because elf, human, different species.
Mm-hmm.
So I had elf, human, half elf, dwarf, gnome, and halfling. I had all of them represented. I had most of the classes, like cleric, fighter, mage, thief, and paladin. All of them had different one. I wanted a dual class one. But yeah, with all those things and all those different options and shit, it really slows down the action when you're battling a lot if you want to do it turn-based.
Yeah.
So what I ended up mostly doing was just letting anybody who could melee go melee or do like ranged without magic go ham, and then I would stop and go, all right, cleric, you do this, wizard, you do this.
Right.
Like the rest of them, just like I let them go. And honestly, it wasn't like I played on normal difficulty, and it wasn't super punishing, which is something I really had liked about it because of the quick save, quick load function. That is just awesome to have that, because anytime like you quick save, take a rest, see if you get a night encounter. If you don't, you get the rest, you get all your spells back, you save again, you go on. And you learn that very quickly that you have to do that because people will die, and that sucks. Like as soon as someone in your party goes down, you're like L for the quick load. Yeah, it's Q for quick save, L for quick load.
F buttons didn't exist or something.
Yeah, exactly. But going like remembering D&D second edition, like it really took me back. Like, you know, people mentioned THAC0, like that was, you know, I don't know if THAC0 carried over to third, but I know like
I don't think it did.
Okay, this was like the last holdout for like the THAC0 and the fucking weird, and I've always thought the weird, stupid way they handled armor class rather than going up, it goes down to get better. Like that was always dumb.
Gotta have that -2 armor, man. What was that code?
Yeah.
I said, I remember as a kid when I played these games, it was really confusing. Yeah.
Dumb system.
That was one of the dumbest things. But remembering it, because I played second edition with a group for like 6 years, and it was fucking great. I had a blast doing it, and it brought back so many different memories, just of how weird some of the systems are and stuff like that, and how much it has been streamlined from then till now.
Totally.
The voice acting in it, like when there is voice acting, is fucking phenomenal for a CD-ROM game. Like, and I know like CDs sound good, like if you record like music on a CD and stuff, but I'm used to having CD-ROM games not like have sort of like a crackle or a fuzz when like there's a voice line or something, like, or even a song. You'll hear like the fuzz of recording or whatever. This one like is clean as fuck. And that was the first thing. Like you open the game, the narrator comes in, you're like, whoa, there's absolutely like no like static or anything. It's like super clean. And I just was blown away by how good the recording quality of it is. And also, I got the Icewind Dale plus Heart of Winter, I think it's called,
the DLC
expansion. And the Heart of Winter expansion gives you resolution options. So you can like it. Like I always thought that it was way too close, like way too zoomed in.
Yeah.
For but the expansion like gives you a nice zoom out. It gives you a less blurry imaging and that kind of stuff. So it's great. And I didn't realize that until way later, like the second day of playing. And then, of course, as usual, people in my chat were like, "We were telling you that when you were installing it. You didn't listen." I'm like, "No, I saw you say that. I ignored you."
So are we talking like 640 to 800 by 600? Like, what's the resolution here?
No, dude, I'm talking 1600 by 800.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude.
Huh.
I'm talking. It's still 4:3, but I'm talking like
proper res.
That's too much, though. Honestly, that resolution
it's too
is
sharp.
Too much because then it's D&D for ants. What is this? D&D for ants, and you can't like they're little tiny sprites. The character images are fucking they're clean, but the actual game itself is like really tiny.
When did this? So this came out in June 29th, 2000. Trying to think like what monitor back then was that, like a Sony Trinitron or something that would support that? Like what? Huh?
I haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah, that's an old.
Well, I mean, I could tell you like. Oh, also, we had. This is always fun.
That's 2000.
Always fun when it's a classic RPG or the like CD-ROM, and they give you the instruction novel.
Yeah. How's that smell? How's that?
Reading. Smells great. 130 pages. 130 pages. I shit you not. It's amazing. And I looked at it maybe 4 or 5 times. Because they go over everything. Let me see. Where do they say? They got to have like recommended specs somewhere.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh no, wait. I'm thinking of the next thing I tried to play. They have a oh, that's right. They call it technical support hotline
Totally.
directly to customer support.
Message boards weren't like big back then, unless you were on like IRC, I guess, or
Yep.
I mean, IRC might be that might be later 2000s.
Oh, and if you guys don't think that if you guys think that I don't call those support lines every time I install a game, you are sadly mistaken, because I definitely do.
Any of them still up?
Most of the time they're down. Or the other time I'll get an answering machine that says like, Bob's Hardware is not open right now, like something like that. Like every once in a while you'll get like a voicemail for some business that's not open or whatever, not answering. I haven't gotten an answer yet. Not one time have I gotten an answer anybody picked up. But yeah, most time they just say like, this number is no longer in service.
Yeah.
I do try and register it every time as well. Try to register my game, because that's the law.
You got to.
That's the law. So I try and register it. And I tried to download. Oh God, what was the thing I tried to download that was like a bonus for getting Heart of Winter? It was like spy games or GameSpy.
Oh yeah, GameSpy servers. Yeah.
Yeah, GameSpy. It was like, do you want to experience blah 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 games for for free or whatever? Get GameSpy. And I was like, all right, let me download that.
Yep.
And I tried to connect, and unfortunately, GameSpy Arcade, thank you. And unfortunately, the server's down. They had been down for at least 10 years.
I'm trying to think what there was.
It's not more than that.
I played something that used GameSpy back in the day that was like, it was like a big game in my gaming life, and I don't know what it was. It wasn't StarCraft, because that was BattleNet. Maybe it was Savage, the first Savage. Maybe it was on GameSpy.
So good.
I forget. Battlefield 1942. Yeah, it was 1942. That's right. Battlefield. Yeah, the first one that you had to use GameSpy servers, or you had to use the GameSpy app to find the servers. Yeah. Fucking GameSpy. Remember GameSpy? Remember, God, what was the one before GameSpy? It started with a K. Not Kazaa. That was like a Napster.
That was
type
the music
deal.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kali. Fucking Kali. Kili. That was what you had to use to get on to play on like the good servers for StarCraft. They were like off BattleNet servers. I remember that shit. Anyways, sorry.
See, that shit happens all the time, all day long when we're doing this shit. Like we'll bring up stuff like it'll just like, spark a memory. Like, oh my God, I remember this. Like when you like, all right, install, like the install, just because I have a fast PC doesn't mean it's not taking the game off of the disc.
Got to read the disc.
So,
yeah.
Got to read the disc. So like I press install and I'm like, all right, 10 minutes. Ask me anything,
Kids these days have it so easy, It's just, it's too easy, one would say.
Well, and it's 10 minutes for like less than a gigabyte is what like the thing that you need to remember. Like this is like 800 megs.
Yeah.
But it still takes 10 minutes because they got to rip it from the disc to get it installed on your PC. But speaking of ripping things off of your CD and trying to get them installed.
The next game.
Black Dahlia. My white whale.
Your white whale? Wait, why?
My white whale.
Explain. Why is it
my
your
Moby
white whale?
Dick. Call me Zeke Mail.
I will not, sir.
Queequeg. To me. Anyway. So last year, CD-Romathon, there is a game, and it's called Black Dahlia. Right here. I have the thing. And just so you know, this is... Oh, no! You ever seen that video of the guy holding that phonograph spool, and he goes, "This is one of a kind. It's like there's no other." And he goes, psh, and he breaks it in his hand. I go, shit.
Yeah. What'd you break?
It it fell out of the case and I rolled over disc 3 of Black Dahlia. This game is fucking cursed. I am not kidding. I just now like dropped it on the ground and I went to pick it up and I rolled over it. This game is fucking cursed. Well, here's the thing though. I got it out to show you guys that it is. Oh, where did all them go? Oh, they all fell into the case? They all did. I put it in upside down.
Was that the only one?
Yeah.
The only CD
That
harmed?
is. Yeah, that's the only CD that got fucked, but damn it. Well,
Gonna have to find that ISO, you know?
there's 2 spots over here. There are 8 discs to this game. 8 discs.
Is that because of like uncompressed video? Like,
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
The FMV files take up so much space on the discs.
Yeah.
But there's 8 of them. Well, 7.
7 now,
Now.
yeah.
7 now. And jeez, I can't fucking believe I just did that like live on stream when I was talking about it. So terrible.
Yeah, chat's correcting.
just
7.5
shows you, like,
technically now.
8 hours of troubleshooting trying to get this game to work on Windows 98 emulator and Windows 95, Windows XP, MS-DOS. Like, we tried to get this fucking game going for 8 hours last year. This year, Hukin, who is a regular of my channel, who is just diligently trying to get this game to work. He's like worked on it off and on throughout the year, and he's like, all right, I got the fix for you. Here we go. We got it so fucking close. After 4 hours, because the first part of the day I played a little bit Icewind, and then I was like, all right, for the last half of the day, I'm going to try and install this. Now, it may seem like it's working to you, but the video and audio, one would stutter, one would be smooth. And you try and get them like this is how it is, like stuttering smooth. And you go, and like just like trying to put the same polarity of a magnet, it went whoop. Trying to put that shit together so the one would stop stuttering and the other one would start. And it's like trying to dial it in. All right, because the virtual machine that he built was a Windows 98 virtual machine, and it had selections of like Pentium 75, Pentium 90, Pentium MMX 223 or 233 or whatever. Like 20 different like processors go through, 12 different sound devices to go through. Like SP10, SP16, WinMix or whatever the fuck it's called. And we were like, disk speed, we're like, all right. And it was like combinations of shit. It's like, okay, so we were the closest. I'm going to tell you this. If you want to get this game, try it yourself. We were the closest with 2 times disk speed with a Pentium 75. It recommends 90, but 75 if you're running a VM on a new machine. You got to slow it down. You got to slow down that computing. And the Sound Blaster 16 or Sound Blaster Pro. Those are the 3. We got it so close. So close you could taste it. But not quite. And that was like after 3 hours, we're like, holy shit, that's really close. And then we started fucking with little things here and there's like, no, okay, take it back. Move it back. No, take it. And that's, I mean, and everybody through all of it, like, just remembered how it's exactly what we had to do back in the day to get shit going. There was little weird fixes, like when I was playing Discworld Noir last year, and someone was like, all right, here's the fix from 98. Ready? Open your Windows music player. Play a track. Mute it. But have it running while the game is running. And it'll take some of the crackle out of the audio. And it worked for like the first 15 minutes. And I was like, I remember having to do this shit. And it's so much fun. And I hope everybody involved had fun. Everybody getting frustrated. Everybody like crossing their fingers like, we're going to boot it up again. Let's see. Oh, no. That kind of shit. But like Black Dahlia's been my white whale, man. It's 12 hours of trying to get this fucking game running and nothing yet. next step, and I think someone from my community might be doing this. Someone might be building me just a straight up old ass PC.
Just a physical PC.
Just
Nice.
a physical, like with all of the old shit, all the old pieces. Like I think someone's doing that or something similar to that.
That's gonna have a good. If it doesn't smell like cigarette smoke though, is it really authentic? You know.
I cannot even tell you like how much that attacked me just now. Because like I remember sitting in my first apartment, my very first apartment. I'm 19 years old. It's a little shitty like studio shoebox apartment. Back before they didn't no tenants were allowed to smoke indoors. Everybody could smoke indoors. Like it was just the last time, and I'm sitting there like at my PC watching fucking Kazaa, just like I'm gonna watch the new 6 Feet Under episode. Bet me.
Yep.
Or I'd wake up in the morning and be like, time to go work at the coffee shop. I'll queue up 4 episodes. That should be done by the time I get back.
It's accurate. It's accurate. You've got the slightly like yellow colored PC case as well. That's gotta be there. If it's not, it's just not real. Just shouldn't.
Well, it's like the Super Nintendo. Like parts of it would go like yellowy brown, but other parts wouldn't fade that much. It was very strange.
Yep. It's very true. It's very true. So you did not end up getting it in the end, and you spent. It looks to be about what, another 4 hours on it.
Yep. It was around 4 hours total on it, and explaining like it's become kind of like a, and don't do this, don't be a smart ass and do this, but it's become kind of a fun thing to see people come in and be like, still, you know, you can just get this game on GOG, right?
Yeah.
Still every day. Like, why don't you just rip the files off of the fucking CD and put them on your PC? That's not playing it off the CD. It doesn't count. If that was easy, it wouldn't be fun, right? Can you see my face and how much fun I'm having?
It's true.
Yeah. So that's CD-Rom-a-thon if you want to join me. Not today, though.
What's next? Yeah. Are you building a PC today? Chad said you were, and I was like, wait, it took him a week. Is he still working on it? Like, I thought you were doing that last week.
No, I was going to do it after the show last Wednesday, but democracy was falling apart, so figured.
Right. Yeah, that kind of.
Remember?
Yeah.
You want to?
I don't remember much of that at all. I drank so much that I had to like stop drinking for a few days because I woke up drunk.
I heard about that.
You woke up drunk.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah.
That's a killer hangover these days. That's like that
So
puts you out for
what
like
happened?
a week.
Is everything cool now? Like mostly? Like yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
No,
my voice
everything's
can only get
resolved.
so high, Co.
Yeah, I was gonna say the pitch has gone up pretty good amount there.
Nothing's happening right now. We're just trying to get the head guy out. You know, he's trying to say bye a little earlier than expected. It's all right.
Okay, well, that's good, man. Well, we'll see how it goes. Well, let's see if it works out.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, you know.
I feel like one of us needs to be like, oh,
Mickey Mouse is gonna show up. What the fuck? The lawyers are coming for us.
oh God.
Yeah. I don't know what was.
Sorry, I was
just
trying to
said.
get my voice higher. And that's my way to do
Satan
it.
has entered the call.
I know, right?
Yeah, but the PC build stream is happening after Drop Frames today. Like,
Awesome.
I'm gonna, take a break, have some lunch, whatever. But
Yeah.
I'll let you guys know. But it's usually an hour ish after this show gets done. Yeah. So Katie's gonna come in and we're gonna build that. We got all the pieces and parts. We're gonna glue it all together. But what's next for me? I'm glad you asked. I read a book. What? I know.
I don't. That seems.
I read a book years ago.
Don't do
I
that.
read a book years ago that really had an effect on me, and it's a really great book, and it has a lot of really like it. You don't like. It's kind of like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Like, it's fun and funny and clever, but it also has like some pretty cool like statements about us as human beings and society and that kind of shit. And the book was called Callahan's Cross Time Saloon, or the Callahan Chronicles, by Spider Robinson, and I really love that book. And someone during CD-Rom-a-thon said, like, hey, there's a CD-ROM game about that. And I went, what? And I looked it up. It's a very little known game. Not a lot of people had it. It's a rare kind of find. I could find the discs, but I wanted everything. I wanted the box. I wanted all that shit. And one of my mods, Johnny Scar, found it brand fucking new in the box.
Wow.
Callahan's Cross Time Saloon, and it is amazing. Like this is what I'm gonna be starting up next. It seems like it's a point and click adventure.
Man, you're a brave person for seeing how you handled Dahlia. You got to be careful taking that.
No, right? Fuck,
I don't mean to bring up that moment so soon after it happened, but careful.
Yeah. Listen. Last night, me and the lady were watching TV in bed, and I reached over to my nightstand to, who the fuck knows, grab a napkin or something, and I went bloop, knocked over an entire full glass of fruit punch.
Nice.
And I screamed through my teeth for like a full minute. And I just looked at her and I went, you'd think, I thought when I was, 14 and 15 that I'll grow out of this. This won't happen to me anymore. I won't be just a giant fuck up klutz for my entire life. But no, here I am at 40, and I'm still that same fuck up klutz, and I always will be.
Hey man, it happens to all of us. All right. I ordered some KFC the other day and got the family meal. Picked up the fries the wrong way. You can imagine how that went all over the floor. Dog ate well that night. Let's go with that.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah. So
I had 2 kids.
Yeah. And Co no longer has a TV, actually. So, it just happens. These things just happen. It's just how it goes.
We all make bad decisions.
True. True. Are you worried about building the PC, Zeke? I will probably tune into that because I'm watching The Expanse after this and then taking the rest of it. I'm like hibernating right now for the potential like 12-hour stream or 14-hour stream back to back for PoE.
Oh,
so
man.
I will probably tune into the PC building stream. Are you nervous at all about it?
I mean, not really. Like, sure, I could fuck it up. If there is a way, I probably could find a way. But like when it comes down to it, I can be careful when I need to be. All that other shit, like I didn't have to be careful. Just shit happens on accident. This I'm actually focusing and like trying to make sure everything gets in the right place. I have a static mat like I showed you. I have the
static mat,
the wristband for no,
They don't put it on the box, but the real reason you buy the static mat is to get chat to shut the fuck up about them. That's why you buy them. Yeah. It
is chat silence plus 5.
Yeah. So you can't, I shouldn't say this because you might find a way, but it's pretty hard to like fuck up a PC build these days. It's
all you need to do, power supply plugged in, touch it with your skin, and then just don't move around much while you're building, and you are just fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
That's it.
Yeah.
And of course, don't wear like wool socks and have a balloon near you that you're rubbing every so often, and focus on what you're doing.
Plug the power supply in.
Yeah, if the power supply is grounded and you touch it, that will completely ground
you. Yeah.
You're good to go. Yeah.
Okay.
That was a trick back when we did our builds.
Okay.
So be fine.
Also lick the power supply.
Do I need like a hammer or
for what?
Anything for that?
A cup of water helps if it's plugged into
like a rubber hammer. A little bit. Like I'm not saying like a metal hammer, but like a rubber hammer for like tapping in the RAM.
No.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I mean a metal hammer works just as well.
I don't know if we're giving good advice or bad advice anymore. I don't know where we're at on the show. I'm off the rails.
Also, glue helps hold it in.
That's what the thermal paste actually serves for is glue.
I built a table leg from scratch, actually from a fucking closet rod, and it's still working to this day, sort of.
It's true. I did.
JP brings up a good point. To get the best, the fastest RAM, just take some of that. The Silver 5 is the best. Just squirt that like you would a hot dog, just right in the RAM slot, just right in the middle, and then just kind of squish the RAM stick in, and that way you get a good seal.
Right.
It's good if you
don't want moisture getting in there
on both sides. Make sure it's nice and tight in there.
I mean, I know that. That's basic shit.
last time I did a PC build was on the front page for a sponsored stream. And the best part about it, I don't know if I ever shared this. The best part about it was I went to open the graphics card that I had ordered from Amazon, and it was a 3080 on the box. The box was for a 3080. Or no, wait, sorry, 2080. 3080s weren't out yet. It was for a 2080. And so I open the box and I take the card out. Look at the card. Look at the box. Look at the card. Someone had put like an ATI 9800 or some fucking like super old graphics card in the box and returned it to Amazon. And Amazon didn't check. And so it was like a $20 graphics card in the box of like a $900. And like Samsung is like texting me like, we'll get that figured out. Just do what you can. So
Let's go ahead and put that one in for now.
Well, no,
and
luckily I had like two cards just sitting at two 2080s that were just sitting on a shelf. So I just grabbed one of those and was like, we'll just use this. And so we were able to proceed. But yeah, that was check the boxes, Zeke. I don't know what you ordered or where you ordered from, but you got to be careful. PC parts are a motherfucker these days. So yeah.
Well, I mean, that's any box that I could open, I did, or like that was already open that wasn't like brand new. I opened and checked, but I used to work at a pawn shop and I knew a fucking shisty, fucking shady motherfucker who would like go to Walmart, grab something off the shelf, buy it, take what he wanted out of it, like if it was a piece or part or something, and then we had a cellophane machine, like you just
totally
do it, and he would return it without the thing inside of it.
Yeah.
So I know that can happen, and it's. I just don't jinx me, please. I already fucking broke a game.
We'll see. We'll see. Look, I'm pulling for you. All right, we all are. We all hope it's a successful build. Should be good. That back in the day when we used to go to LAN parties, instead of especially if they were like across state lines, we didn't want to like carry our giant fucking CRT monitors. We would just go to the Best Buy in the town where the LAN party was and buy a CRT and use it for that weekend, and then on Monday return them on our way out of town. So, yeah, like I'm right there with you in terms of At least we returned it though. It was as is. It was just slightly used over the course of the weekend. Had that new cigarette smell. So, I don't think you can do that anymore. What was that? Go.
Is it that new cigarette smell?
Yeah, it's what you expect with PC parts back then. Let's talk about the farming life. How is Stardew been?
Oh man, it's phenomenal. They've added a lot into it. There's a lot of new starting areas, lots of bug fixes. I'm playing a default again just because I kind of wanted to, have as much area as I could. Yeah, it's fun. Like, look at this and then look at the farm today, kind of to see the difference. But it's been really cool. We've been making a lot of progress recently. I can't wait to get back in tomorrow. The game is just so much bigger now. I'm kind of not even really getting to the point where there's new stuff. I mean, there is new stuff. Like you can get new things from some of the vendors. You can get new things for like your farming area. There's a new kind of persistent weekly quest you can do that gives you unique items. Like I now have these 2 warp things that I can put anywhere around my farm. I click one, it just auto warps me to the other. There's phones you can get now where you can call and check the status of items and things. You buy new things for it's just more. It's just a huge amount more. And I've really, really been enjoying it. It's everything I loved about Stardew and just a bunch more to do. The game is a little bit, I feel like it's a little bit harder than I remember, especially the desert place, but I did miss a few big patches. I only played like when it came out and then I think one more time a little bit later. There's also a new dungeon. There's apparently a whole new area that we haven't gotten to either. Yeah, it's just a whole lot bigger and a whole lot more.
Harder in what way?
I went to like the desert dungeon today for a little bit and was just getting my ass handed to me.
Oh, like
things were, I felt like there were maybe I was just a lot better in the past and I've gotten a lot older, which is probably what happened, to be honest. But it's just things seem a bit more difficult in that regard. I was probably more prepared last time. But yeah, it's definitely been a thing. Also, tons of little bug fixes and QL changes and things like that. It's just become a very smooth game for sure.
I think I might pull up footage of like the more recent, because this to me looks like my experience with Stardew, which never got maybe
It's
like
still
an hour
this.
past this. It's still this.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
It's still Stardew.
Yeah, but you probably have a giant farm, right, with like a ton of shit going
Yes.
on.
Yeah, if you go to like the VOD today,
Yeah, let me find
or the stuff today, like I've got 3 giant fields, multiple different trees, a barn with I'm currently have a small lizard in my chicken coop named Godzilla.
Am I imagining things, or
Yeah.
is it more zoomed out?
It is more zoomed out. There's zoom options
Okay.
now, which
Okay.
I've been playing with a lot. So, yeah.
How many seasons? Is this fall, autumn? What are we seeing here?
Currently in fall. I'm in my
Okay.
first year still, and I'm coming up to the end of fall. Been playing for about, I want to say 20-ish hours. I've kind of been playing. I'm not min-maxing by any degree because I forgot most of the stuff, and there's a bunch of new things as well. And also there's certain ways you can play to like get you a ton more money, but like I like having my aesthetically pleasing farm and all that kind of stuff too.
Sure.
But no, it's been really good. There's a lot of new things, even for players that haven't played for a while, and it's super enjoyable, for sure.
Is it enough new things for people that have played this game into the ground to jump back in?
I'd say, yeah, especially if you plan on going to like the end game. There's a whole new dungeon, apparently. There's a whole new area. Apparently, I don't even know how to access it yet.
Huh.
There's just a whole bunch of stuff to do that was just not in the game before.
Just more Stardew.
There's more of everything,
essentially. It's what is it? Concerned Ape, right? That's the dev.
Concerned Ape.
Has he said like if this is the end, or is it just like they're just gonna keep making? Because I feel like this is like an annual thing where they release it. Kind of we talked about on Steam, and people start talking about how good this game is. It's obviously got great reviews, and then it just sells a fuck ton every year.
Yeah. I mean, this is the 1.5 patch. I know he recently hired a dude. I don't know if it's for a new project, but he actually hired someone, so he's got somebody helping him make stuff now. So yeah, I think he's added teasers for more stuff. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, pretty awesome, because there's no question he probably could have rolled all this into like a DLC and charged for it, and he just keeps churning out free patches.
Yeah, it's all free. We should note that as many times as possible, because you download this and you buy it once and that's it. So, is he working on anything new? Like someone in chat said that he's working on other projects, or he's working on a new game. Have you heard anything about that, or know
Not
anything
yet.
about that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that.
I wonder what like a new. I don't know. Like, I would be interested to see like what he makes. Like if it's more of this, if it's a different style of this, or I don't know.
Yeah, he's definitely got a lot of eyes on him now with the success of Stardew. So
totally,
it'll be interesting to see where he goes.
I'm trying to find a VOD that has your farm in it. Here we go. Okay, yeah, you could see it's.
Oh yeah,
things
this isn't even like this doesn't even have my barn in it and stuff. So there's even more than this. There's a third field on the west side and all sorts of stuff going on.
What's the name of your farm? Coast Farm.
Coast Farm.
Okay.
My horse's name Roach.
Sure.
All the normal
stuff. Nice, Zeke.
Does he disobey you and run away? Does he, suddenly just appear on the top of the house? Like, is he the shittiest fucking animal like in game history? Yeah.
He just sleeps there. Yeah.
There's a Cyberpunk 2077 Game of the Year #2 joke here somewhere, but I don't know what it is. So I'll just say that and we'll move on.
I think that's the joke.
Maybe.
I think that's it.
Joke not found.
There you go. Joke not found. Jesus. What does Stardew run, by the way, for people that maybe haven't gotten into it? Is it like $20? Like it's pretty.
I want to say around there. That's a good question. It is $15.
That's too cheap. They need to charge more.
They really do. It's $15. Yeah, and it's not on sale or anything. Overwhelmingly positive with 260,000 reviews.
That's upsetting. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
That's just.
Yeah.
Is that? I'm trying to. Is that like the most wildly celebrated game that just has there been any negative aspects or moments for that game? I feel like it's always been positive. Undertale? No, Undertale had a ton of shit. Go watch the VOD from when we talked about Undertale. There was a ton of shit about it.
I couldn't even finish that game.
Yeah, that was a rough fucking stream for me.
Terraria. Well, Terraria had the whole mix up with the patches and then the canceled project. So, Minecraft? Oh no, Notch, no.
Yeah. It did
No.
look like this guy say Notch. I don't know.
Hades.
Maybe.
Hades now, Epic Store stuff. I'd say that was.
Yeah.
Spiritfarer.
Spirit what? Is that a game?
I know, right? Who?
Jesus
Spirit,
Christ.
Spirit who? Hollow Knight, actually. Kind of a beloved cult classic, I'd say. That one's RimWorld. RimWorld's been a good one. Yeah, RimWorld. I'd say RimWorld is probably one of the
RimWorld,
closer ones. RimWorld is probably one of the close ones. A lot more. Yeah. I'd say RimWorld is probably pretty close.
RimWorld's probably.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely Cyberpunk. Yeah, definitely Cyberpunk.
That's what I was gonna say. A shoe in is Cyberpunk. No drama or additional
Ori.
conversation. Yeah.
But Ori's a little bit more like studio. But anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, good on Concerned Ape. He's had a good run. He seems like a good guy.
Oh, other small things. I haven't quite finished it yet, but I will say the Pillars of Eternity 2 DLC is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, you hadn't jumped into that last week. That's right.
Phenomenal.
The final one.
Beast of
right?
Winter, probably one of the best DLCs I played in any game. The DLC 2's a lot. Yeah, it's really, really good.
Better than like
really
Blood and
good.
Wine? Are we saying like that? That good?
Well, I mean, it's not quite to the scale of something like Blood and
Okay.
Wine, but what's super cool about Beast of Winter for Pillars of Eternity 2 is not only does it have creative mechanics, lots of really good loot, an interesting main storyline, a fun new character, but like slightly non-spoilery, but you there's parts about it that revisit things that have happened in the entire franchise in really meaningful, cool ways.
Oh.
And there's like some creative mechanics inside of those as well, some really good fights. Like it's a really, really quality DLC. It's one of those like total package DLCs. It just does everything really well. And then the third DLC is really good too. I've been having a great time with that. I haven't quite finished it yet. I think I'm getting close to the end, but then Stardew happened and I became addicted again. And I'm playing Battletech in the evenings too. So
Yeah.
game. But
how's Battletech going?
great. Battletech's good. I'm playing with the DLCs now. I'm playing career mode, so I haven't really gotten to the new stuff yet, but it's been patched up, running really well. I've done like 4 or 5 nights now. I'm going to be doing more tonight, and it's great, man. Battletech is just big tactical mech warfare. Huge amount of fun. It gives you those great like power boosts when you finally salvage a good new mech. It's great like speccing them out and making them how you want to. I just respect one of my main mechs. Main pilot Co got killed last night in a crazy 3-way shoot off inside of a city, which was super cool. Like I'd never done that before. There's urban maps now, so like as far as you can see in all directions, it's just city with buildings. And last night I was doing a mission where I was fighting like another faction, and sure enough, like randomly a pirate faction drops in, and then those two guys start fighting while fighting me too. So it becomes this like 3-way fight where you never really know what's going to happen, and it's really cool, man. It's a lot of fun. It's a very fun game. For sure.
That's all AI, like single player stuff, right? For the most part. Is there any multiplayer?
There is, I think, some skirmishing you can do multiplayer.
Gotcha.
I don't believe there's a co-op thing. But
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then the only other little thing of note, it's not really game related, but we had our first edition of the book club that I've been doing.
Oh yeah.
Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, which was really cool. Went really well. Had guests DJ Wheat and Silent Osiris, and we just talked Way of Kings for like 2 hours. And we're going to be doing another one in a couple months covering the entire rest of the Stormlight Archives by Brandon Sanderson. So people can catch up, and then we're going to have like a big spoiler cast with the same guests and stuff. So
awesome.
It's actually pretty cool. It went a lot better than I thought it would.
Have you finished the series, or are you in process of finishing?
I am halfway through Rhythm of War, which is the 4th book in the series. And if you like fantasy books, like cannot recommend these books more.
There's I'm DJ Wheat's my friend.
Oh yeah, of course. You've gotten all this 1,000 times.
I can't talk to him without him saying like, by the way, have you read the book yet? Like it's just nonstop.
By the way, you should read the book.
I know. I've been told. I've tried. I've gotten. I think the furthest I've gotten is like 130, 140 pages in. I don't remember what chapter. It was when the female character was in the library.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about right where I stopped. Yep.
So on.
Yes. Yeah. So
for those asking, we were talking about Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. It's the first book in the Stormlight Archive, and it's part of a more broad series involved in this thing called the Cosmere. If you really want to start at the beginning, then you want to look at the first books in something called the Mistborn series, which is what I'm going to do probably after I'm done reading Rhythm of War. But yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Cool. Speaking of wheat, I played some Tarkov with wheat over the weekend. Tarkov is, I think, a fine game solo, but I think that game shines if you're running with someone. And I think when I go back to it, not if I go back to it, but when I go back to it, I will probably try to find like a buddy to constantly play the game with. It is so much more fun when you can share the knowledge of what's happening, the stress of what's happening, and just have a second set of eyes while you're playing. It makes that game so much more fun. And also, like,
how many people can drop in at the same time?
You can have 5 people on a team, but you should note that the more people that you add in, and the less communication, or the less valuable communication gets. You just got like fucking people zigzagging nonstop in front of you, and like friendly fire can occur. It's what I will say. I had my first team kill as well, as every Tarkov player does.
Yay!
Yeah.
Congrats.
We tried to. I was playing with Sips, and I was trying to figure out like who the blame was on. Go ahead.
The fact that you said that,
yes,
makes me wonder, like, if there might be a place for me in Tarkov, and that place is, you remember Golden Axe, those gnomes that had like the bag? That's my place. Like, no guns, no nothing.
The bad guy.
I'll just be the guy with the bag. 3 other players, I'll just be the guy with the bag, and they have to protect me.
I mean, if you want,
I'll carry all the loot for them.
If you want to get real min-maxy about it, you can like throw your bag down in one button click. And so you could just be the bad guy of like, the other 2 are always looking on point with their guns, and they're just trading bags to you to fill up with loot on wherever they're going. Yep. So it could be possible, without a doubt. But I don't know if you'd be into something like that. The game is about killing and shooting other people.
Dude, did you not see like the charity tournament the charity PUBG tournament that I was in? That's how me and Athos got second place. He shot everybody. I fired my gun 1 time, and we got second place because he just did all the shooting and I did all the looking and looting.
It's true. I did not consider that. It might be a viable path.
We lost to the very skilled Anthony Kongpan, but
sure.
Just want like credit where credit's due. They got us in the end, but
yeah, as you do. But yeah, I ultimately hit. It was a wild ride of just, and I think Tarkov is a wild ride of like ups and downs. You have bad days in Tarkov, and you have good days in Tarkov, and then you have okay days in Tarkov. But I think the game does have some very like clear things that I would love to see improved. I think the UI, when it comes to the stuff out of game, is like serviceable at best. In a lot of ways, just like supremely frustrating. I was messing around with like gun presets and things like that, and that whole system is just a fucking headache to try and like maneuver around. And I think it's one of those things where like once you get it and once you understand what's happening, it's fine. But like getting to that point is just a fucking mess. Like, it hurts my head trying to wrap my brain around like, you got to go to this preset, and then you got to go to like buy all this stuff. And then sometimes when you buy that, you got to make sure you're not bartering or that the vendors aren't showing up in that search. And then when you do that, it's just like all this shit. There's so many different things to like toggle on and off when it comes to those menus that it's just supremely overwhelming. And it could just be like, they could just make it simple. I
interrupted your story about Sips, if you want to.
Oh, right. I killed Sips. I think it actually is right here. I think this is the run where I killed Sips.
You did it here?
Not in this area. We're in Crack House, which is the building to the right here. Is that where you killed everyone, was Crack House?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's in this building. This might not be the run. We only played customs. It's that building right there on the right, the 2-story.
Oh, that's the whole new one, dude. There used to be just a solid wall on the right there.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff is new. So we walked into Crack House, and ultimately the breakdown was like, he was on 2nd story, and then he was looting to the room in the right next to the front door, And I go, are you at front door? I hear footsteps. He goes, no. Someone crosses in path in front of me. I fire 2 shots. One of them headshots. He drops. And he goes, by the way, that was me. And I go, but you just said you weren't there. He goes, yeah, that was my fuck up. And I go, yeah, but I shot. I feel horrible. Like I didn't want to kill anyone. The immediate like, fuck, I'm alone in this shit world by myself because I killed you. It was awful. It was an awful feeling.
Yeah, you can only do so. Like that's like the same kind of thing as like when you're scoping and you're firing and you've
Yes.
taken 2 shots and then somebody walks in front of you as you take the 3rd shot. Like you can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
Like, that's just
Yeah.
you can't do anything about that.
Yeah, and then like he Sips is one of the chillest people I've ever known, and he was just like, that's Tarkov, man. We'll get him next game. And I'm like, oh, thank God, because like it sucks to die in this game. He had all of his stuff insured, and I think I like hit it in a nice area, so he got most of it back, so it's fine.
That was nice.
Yeah, but it definitely sucks. Like I said, you're sharing all of the experience of Tarkov with another player, and it's. I liken it to playing StarCraft 2 ladder. If you're playing like StarCraft 2 1v1 ladder, there was a thing called ladder anxiety. And it was just like, you didn't want to queue up and go solo against another person in like an RTS game that's super intense and you know, just it creates anxiety. That's Tarkov solo queue in a lot of ways. You enter into this map and you're just walking around and you hear like the bushes, the wind hits the bushes and you're like, oh my God, is that a guy? I'm going to go and sit in this bush for 10 minutes and not move and just listen for 10 minutes.
And close my eyes and listen.
Yeah. I become one with the bush.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Honestly, after that story, like I just heard Jake Gyllenhaal in my head going like, we call this friendly fire or friendly fucking. We're getting friendly fucked. From Jarhead. Like,
yeah. Yeah. It's true. It's true. We also had another cool experience, me and Sips. We were doing that very thing of sitting outside dorms on this map for probably at least 10 minutes. We were just sitting in these 2 bushes next to these 2 trees because we knew someone was in dorms of where we were trying to go. We sat there for 10 minutes and someone ran out and I didn't have a shot. And Sips did. Sips took a shot, headshot the guy, downed him in 1 shot. And we're just like, oh, that was a nice shot. We'll go loot him here in a bit. So we, you know, time passes. We eventually go in and Sips goes over to like loot his body. And this guy has like literal millions of gear. Like I think it totaled around like 3 million gear or 3 million worth of gear on him. Sips loots all of it and we get out. And someone leaks in chat, by the way, that guy was a streamer and he's streaming right now. And we're like, no shit. And he goes, yeah, his name is Cadences with an S. And I go, oh, okay. And someone like went and found the clip of him dying where Sips shot him and linked us the clip. And the guy's just like walking around. He runs down the steps, runs outside, gets shot. And he goes, huh, nice shot. And just like loads up another game. And we're like, dude, if I just lost $3 million because some rat fuck was sitting in a bush like we were for like 15 minutes, I would be furious. And this guy's like, yeah, that sucks. Nice shot, man. Whoever that was. So like I raided and hosted him afterwards and he's just like a super chill guy. But I think in a nutshell, like that's kind of how you have to play Tarkov. You have to go into it with this idea of just like, you're going to die. You can't get too upset over it.
Gear fear is a thing, man.
Yeah, like you got to get past your gear fear because everyone dies in this game, no matter how good you are.
Yep.
Like watching even like Summit or Pestily, like I think they would say that 10 times over. You will die in this game. There's very little that you can do. You will catch a random bullet, no matter who you are, and just get one tapped, and you're just like, fuck. Anyways, let's go back into it.
I think that might be like the whole paragraph you just said.
Yeah,
might be the most Russian thing I've ever heard. Like, you die, it's going to happen. You die, and you die again, and you lose. You just keep losing. That's life.
It's true. I think this is the moment right here, where I say, "Is that you at front door? Someone running at front door? Yeah, this is it." Yep. Then you could just see my face, like
I saw it. I saw the eyebrows go up. Oh,
yeah, it sucks. It's a bad feeling. I'm glad that we showed that. But yeah, I think this game's really good. I'm done with it for now. I'll be jumping into PoE. it definitely has issues, but they definitely keep patching this game. And I think whenever it hits 1.0, it will be, as long as they fix a lot of those issues or change a lot of the systems with like how the game operates outside of the game, outside of, I guess, the real Tarkov, which is like the inventory system and the Tetris system. Uh, I'm eagerly awaiting 1.0. And I also hope I'm on Team Wipe. I hope that the wipes are something that constantly happen rather than just being one stream or one line game, because then you're just gonna be fighting people with like the best in every slot and just get murdered, and that sucks. Like, best way to play this game is to have a wipe every like 6 months or so. I think so. We'll see if they go down that path. I hope that they do, but you never know how the devs are gonna go. From what I've been told, we'll just have to see. Go whenever you jump into the next. I guess whenever the next wipe happens, we should play some together.
Definitely. This last one, I think, kicked me over the edge. Like, I watched a lot of Tarkov over this last wipe, and it was definitely hard not to fire it up. I just had too many plans going in. But yeah, next time I think I'm going in. I'm gonna make time for it next time instead of like have something else planned. But
yeah. You really do have, like, if you want to play Tarkov, you have to play a lot of Tarkov. It's just like PoE in that way. There's so many parallels between this and PoE that I saw right out of the gate. But yeah, eagerly excited for the next fight.
Quick question: Is there something that people who are really good at this game played it like for tons of time? Is there something to strive for those people?
Yeah, I mean,
what do you strive for? Like,
there's all, like, I've played, what is my, I don't actually know how to check in-game time because it's not on Steam, and I don't know if the Tarkov client, I'll say roughly 50 hours in this game. This is a new player, I will say, Zeke, and I've only played a single map, and I think there's like 8. So that's one map. There's like so many other areas.
Can you not play the other map?
No, you can queue into them, but I've never seen them.
Oh.
Like, I don't know what the fuck goes on in those. I've seen them on streams. I just don't want to jump into those maps because I know this one and I don't know the other maps.
Oh,
there are a lot.
Which map then?
Yeah, you get to choose where you want to load into.
Okay.
Queue up.
Yeah.
Okay.
We played Sips, or we played Factory. Sips was like, let's do a factory run. It's like, I've never done a factory run. Sips like, it'll be fine.
Factory is a unique beast.
Literally 15 seconds into the map and I'm dead. Like, spawned in, walked 3 feet, got shot from a guy in the office, and Sips was like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't do that. But yeah. To answer your question, Zeke, in terms of like the people that play a shit ton of it, there are definitely items in the game that cost what parallel is like. I had, I think, 1.5 million on my character. There are items in the game that cost upwards of 50 million that you can just get.
Fuck is a Kappa case that people keep saying?
That's like the end all be all case that exists in your inventory that can just store a shit ton of things. It's one of the most expensive. So yeah, there's definitely, it's kind of like PoE where, like, in a lot of ways you create your own goals in this game of like what you want to do every time you play it. And so for me, it was just like, this time I was going to learn the game. Next time it'll probably be to like actually get to a certain level and experience more than one map and, you know, try some different guns. Like, this is actually this is day 8 or day 9. This is the first time I've ever used a gun with a scope. Completely different fucking game. Like, it is not, I cannot express how different it is having a scope attached to your gun. And playing, you start to actually like kill people. You could see people from far away. It completely changes the whole game. And it's just, I didn't have the funds to like constantly equip scopes onto my gear that I would bring in because they're expensive. I think this scope in particular with this silencer is like 200,000 rubles or something like that. It's just too expensive. So
I imagine that someone who tunes into a stream, and if the video's muted, or not the video, excuse me, the audio is muted, I'd imagine they'd be like, is the stream frozen? There's just like that.
Yeah.
Just statue, like.
Well, because you're listening, man. Like, the audio is such a huge portion of this game. And even what I'm doing right here is technically bad because when you're doing that, every time you bring the sight up to your or the gun up to your like to look down the sight, it makes noise to where if you're on the first floor, people can hear that. And every time you like change the zoom on your scope, it goes click, and like they can hear that from pretty far away. And so the best thing to do is just like fucking exist and just like sit and do what Code did, where you
You're
just close
talking
your
about
eyes.
the little like
Yeah,
tick tick tick.
yeah. That thing goes click, click. And if people are downstairs, they'll be like, "There's a guy upstairs on the second floor. I think he's over on near the stairs, near the door." And then like if you hear someone running, the best thing to do is not to move, because then they know you're there. And there's different ways. Like if you you can't really see it here because the overlay blocks into the bottom left hand corner, but like caps lock will change your the amount of noise you make in terms of walking, crouched, or prone. It'll just like make you move slower so you're quieter. But even then, if you brush up against a tree, you'll hear the brushes like move, and that shit's very loud because everyone has most people wear headphones in the game, not like the streamer wears headphones, but the character wears headphones, and that stuff amplifies all the noises in the games. So you can actually hear people
Shapes them too.
do what?
It shapes the sound
Oh,
too.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it'll make like quieter sounds louder and louder things quieter. So it doesn't necessarily like it makes it so, especially, and what's even crazier is different types of headphones do different sound shaping.
Yep.
So people like get their favorites and things like that. But
Yeah.
it makes it so, for instance, like the crunching sound you'll make is different. You'll be able to hear different people doing different things at different lengths. It's wild. Very cool.
Yeah. And it's terrifying at the same time because like you'll be walking around a map like this, super, super quiet, and then some guy across the map fires a sniper round or throws a grenade, and it sounds like a fucking nuke just went off in your head, and you're just like, fuck, oh god, what the fuck was that? That was probably over at dorms, man. Someone's probably looting some shit over there. You just like move on with your life. So it's a wild game. Definitely a unique one that I am glad to have played. And in a lot of ways, it kind of takes, there's no better feeling than like lining up a headshot with a silenced M4 across a map at like 60 or 70 meters out, hitting that headshot and just being like, fuck yeah, that was pretty cool. Like it's a good feeling when you get a kill like that in this game.
And there's no microphones in the game, right?
Nope. There are voice commands that you can do.
They're voice commands, but not microphones.
Yeah, yeah. And they'll do like,
okay.
The voice commands are like comical in a lot of ways. If you're playing a scav run and you hit F1, you'll respond to other people and respond to the other scavs in Russian. And so they'll be like, they'll say like GG easy, like GG easy or good game easy, that type of thing. They'll say that line, and like that always just cracks me up when you're walking around and you just hear some random GG easy. Like, what the fuck? The hell is that? Or yeah, or cheeky beaky. Yeah.
Cheeky breaky.
It's just, and there's no other noise too. So it a lot of times it'll just scare the shit out of you when you're just like walking and you hear that. But yeah, it's a unique game. I really like it. I will definitely go back to it. I don't know after Path of Exile, but definitely next wipe. I will be all about it. It's a good time. It's also a fun game to stream. I enjoy watching a lot of the streams now after playing it. I've watched, I don't know, 10 plus hours of Summit the past week. And you get really invested in like watching players succeed. Yesterday's Summit got like a 2-kill on 2 guys that he was literally following around for like 10 minutes, just like on the first floor outside of a building listening to. And they finished looting and like walked out of the back of the building, and he was sitting there on the corner, zoomed in and got a like double kill on both of them and got a shit ton of loot for it. And he was super amped up and like you can feed off of that.
He didn't do it quickly, right? He shot twice, like for each person.
Yeah, well, it was like it was one mag, so it was under 30 rounds of like 10 rounds. And this guy dropped immediately. Swapped 10 rounds.
I thought like it was like head and through bullet head other guy like that. That's what I thought happened like for a second.
I mean,
like one bullet went through 2 heads.
No. Yeah. It was two different bullets, 2 different times. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's good stuff. So that's Tarkov in a nutshell. It's good time. We'll have to play whenever the wipe comes up, Code. jump into it because duos
Oh,
are
yeah.
the way to play that game. Game's different beast playing solo. And shout out to all the people that can constantly play that game solo because it's nerve wracking. You start to question what's going on. Cole will just kill you. It's fine. I'm probably deserved of some of it.
Oh, I will.
So,
It'll happen.
yeah, it'll be a good time. That's it. I think we're good. Is there anything else you guys played? Bring up? Or
I would
about
just
some
think
of
it'd be like you and Sips, except it would be the exact opposite. Hey, is that you in the front door? Yeah, it's me. Okay. Oh, that front door. Oh, the door in the front of the building.
The front door is always the back door for me. You know, that's where I always come into this building is that back door. That's front door.
You should have said you were at the front door.
Yeah. Comms is huge in that game. I like get tactical. I'm like, yeah, we got bogey out moving left to right about 50 clicks out. I'm like, why the fuck did I just say that? Like, just say the guy's like
You're
right in front of
narrating
us.
everything you do. Reload.
Yeah, I'm reloading, opening the door, peeking left.
There's a reason for that. Like it's shorthand. Like shorthand you get. Like you start getting into it. Like I love that shit, man. Like I don't have a lot of video game experience with that, but I do have a lot like some tabletop experience with like trying to use proper lingo and shit like that, like to make the situation like to not only immersion but for alacrity, for speed, you know, to make it the communication truncated.
Yeah.
Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
the more small quick communication,
the
the better. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah. It's good. You start to I definitely like started to make up things like, all right, when I say this or like when I start shooting, just go prone. That way, if you're standing up, I won't shoot you. So like we just had things around if I started shooting, Sips would just hit the ground so I wouldn't headshot him randomly and stuff like that. So it's a good game. It's a good time. I can recommend if you're looking to jump in and shoot some things, just watch a couple Pestily videos before you do, so you understand a little bit of what's happening and yeah, and pull up a map so you can understand. Yes. If I didn't have a map in that game, I would be fucking lost. So it's a good time. Anyways, that's it. That's it for this week. We'll continue on next week and see how it goes. Probably Path of Exile, at least for me. Co, you're finishing up more. Well, fuck, we'll just let people do shout-outs. I don't know why I'm doing this. Zeke, do some shout-outs. Tell people what you're up to.
Sounds good. I will. What's up, everybody? My name is Ezekiel the Third. You can find me at or / Ezekiel _I on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. I will be broadcasting here in about an hour-ish. We don't try to rush the Wednesday stream. It's a nice, relaxing, chill thing. We're going to be building a PC, brand new gaming PC. We got all the pieces and parts, the motherboards and the RAMs and the whatever else, the paste, I guess. There's some paste in there involved in some fans.
Like
anyway, we're going to be building that in an hour-ish. No, we use real salsa here in this house.
In New York City.
In a rope. So yeah, that's happening in about an hour here. It's going to be on my channel and not Class Katie's as it is when we do the makeup streams. I'm going to set up a couple of cameras for that. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific, jumping into a brand new CD-ROM game. The Callahan's Cross Time Saloon with a free strategy guide, guys. Free. So that is what's coming up on my channel. Thank you for watching.
Awesome stuff. Co, do some shout outs.
Sure. My name is Co. Hi. As always, thanks to JP and Zeke. Another fun week. I'm going to be doing a lot of Stardew, probably Stardew all day tomorrow, and cozy Battletech in the evenings. I'm also going to be finishing up Pillars of Eternity 2 at some point. We've also got to do the Mahjong learning with Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon and get that last dungeon at some point done. And we've got other stuff coming up next week as we go into Path of Exile. Maybe some Neo 2 PC, although we're still a little bit of ways off for that. We've got Hitman 3 towards the end of the month. All sorts of fun stuff. So yeah, hope to see you guys on the channel. If I don't, I will see you guys next week on the show.
Are you going to be playing Hitman 3 on release? That's next Wednesday.
I might. I'm still figuring out exactly what I'm going to do.
Did you play Hitman 2?
There's some early opportunities and stuff coming out. Oh, yeah, the episodic one? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Okay. Yeah. Hitman 3 is not episodic, right? It's full.
Full
release.
Full.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of want to play the VR version of that, but it's PSVR only. So I don't know. Kind of, yeah, hesitant. Anyways, I'll be doing Path of Exile pretty much Friday onward, probably for a week. If the league's really good, I'll stick around for a lot longer than that, most likely. I think we're going to be doing around $1,000 of giveaways for in-game stuff throughout the course of next week. I got to make sure that that's all squared away and that I can get the keys as I received an email during the show. So I need to take care of that this afternoon. Right after the show today, we'll be jumping into the newest episode of The Expanse. So if you want to watch that with us, we'd love to have you. But yeah, pretty much just counting the days and the hours till PoE comes out. Friday, we'll be joined by Gold Glove. I think Sips is going to join us for some PoE stuff as well. DJ Wheat might also be hanging out in Discord and just shooting the shit while we play PoE. Should be a good time. Hopefully the league is good. I'm very excited for it. And that's about it in terms of what's coming up on the channel. We'll be back next Wednesday with more Drop Frames, as we are always on every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Maybe it'll be the first time the Drop Frames, at least in 2021, isn't happening when there's a major political event also occurring. So we'll see if the year calms the fuck down. In a week, we'll get back to you on that. We'll see how it goes.
On the 20th?
Oh, fuck! You're right. That's right. It's not going to happen. God damn it. It's inauguration day on the 20th. I didn't consider that.
Well, do you guys just want to hang out in Discord and drink?
We can do that.
Jeez. Wait, what about the 27th? 27th should be clear of political stuff. What
Well,
happened?
I mean, if the country's still around, yeah.
It's true, yeah. I mean, it might be. What happened today? Oh, just the first time a president's ever had a second impeachment hearing. Ever. Not a big deal or anything. So,
No biggie.
fucking Christ.
Lol cry.
Yeah, fucking Christ. Anyways, we're out of here.
I may
Thank
have
you.
to drink some beer tonight.
Oh,
Yay!
God, don't get so drunk you wake up drunk. Don't do that. 2 times in
It's
a row.
okay. It's starting tomorrow. It's a great hangover cure.
Oh, God. All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next week with more Drop Frames. Have a great rest of your week and your day. We'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.